Just very quickly, I again want to thank you for inviting me out. I've been sitting here listening intently and reflecting back on all of the issues that I know are happening in our city, the issues that I know people are talking about throughout our city. And while you all clearly have some areas that you'd like to focus on, you know, I'm just feeling a little lost that we're such a lost group of people that even among ourselves, there are things happening in our core groups with our core family members, our core friends, that are totally opposite of all of the stuff we're sitting here talking about.
We know.
And until I think we owe it to each other to at least start talking about that too. Because if we talk about all of these big things that are critical, that have to start with our babies, but some of us have these horrible spirits and these issues that are going on inside of us, and we're double talking. And we have to stop double talking, and we have to not be afraid to put that on the table and address it. Because I don't want to keep coming to meeting after meeting, event after event, school discussion after school discussion, and there's nothing but a lot of double and triple talk going on. Because that to me is a waste of my time.
We know how to heal trauma. This group, we know how to do that. One of the best in the country. I ain't lying about that. We know the modalities and the processes to heal it. Our problem is it ain't enough of us to make it available. We're going to do a training when? October when?
9th.
October 9th.
Fear.
October.
My friends, fear.
9th, 10th, and 11th.
October 8th. Now, we can only take 32 people.
October
For
9th.
clarity, it's the 9th through the 11th.
Yeah. We can only take 32 people through this training. Because it's expensive. We have to bring people from all over the country to come and staff the training. You know what I'm saying? Now, when they come from everywhere. We got them from Seattle and Miami. Psychiatrists, lawyers, you name it, we've had it. Multi-millionaires and gangsters in the same group. They all know, okay, this needs to affect the entire so-called black community.
So it's a trauma narrative or similar to it?
I would say, I want to get some detail.
Okay, quick. The name of it is the Underground Railroad Training Odyssey. Obviously, with that name, we deal with the impact of oppression. Now, just because that's the name, that isn't all that happens. You get what I'm saying? But what we do is we address the issues of trauma that's been passed on generation to generation. Somebody just posted on the internet about the Holocaust victims, that the trauma from them has been passed on to their offspring.
That's a study.
Now, if you go to our website, it's been up there 20 years.
Says the same thing.
It said the same thing. 20 years ago, we knew this because we did the study. This wasn't nothing we just threw together. We spent tens of thousands of dollars training ourselves on how to address this. For myself, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. You know what I'm saying? I was sick and tired of trauma ruling my life. You get what I'm saying? Collectively and individually. The community is traumatized. And it got worse and worse and worse. So we, after a part, what we decided, well, we don't know we want to do a lot of public actions because we'd be overwhelmed. And finally we decided we would reach out again, but we don't accept money from outside entities.
Right.
We don't take grant money because you can't tell us what to do. And we've been doing it 22 years. It's a nationwide organization. It was started in its headquarters right here in Memphis. All the while, all this time.
Speaking to Wanda's point a little bit more directly though, and maybe what we might be looking at is clearly only a small number of people are going to be able to go through the training program that he's talking about, or the deprogramming.
It is a deconstruction of what's been constructed. And that's what I'm telling you. We don't tell you what to think or believe at all.
But I think though that if we could have forums like this and we could have them more often, and we could try to grow the group so that at least the basics are planted.
Well, here's something we're going to do, Carolyn, because we just opened this school. So what we intend to use this space is to do training workshops on people that say perhaps don't want to come and spend the 3 days at the Underground Railroad Odyssey training,
Okay.
where we can do segments of trauma debriefing here. Now,
And you did one very effectively over at the Memphis Teachers and Learning Academy some years back. You did.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
did.
yeah.
And it was very effective and very well received. And I think people got the message. They understood. So you can do things like that for groups of people like this, and audiences even bigger than this, because that was a big audience. But
Yeah, well.
I think we need to put forth a more concentrated effort to try to reach larger numbers of people. And again, I'm saying you can't give them the in-depth training that you would for somebody who spends 3 days or 5 days and then follows you. These people in the Inward Journey have been following Al Lewis and not following, I'm sorry, but been a part of this group for 22 years. I was totally shocked when I got the history. I had no idea. They probably have in this country the most effective substance abuse treatment program than any other program in the United States of America. I know I operated a case management for pregnant mothers, pregnant and lactating women who had children or were carrying a child. So I did that for 5 years. I know exactly what was involved in that. The recidivism rate was so high until it wasn't even mentioning the effectiveness of what we were doing, spending millions of dollars and wasn't going anywhere. I meet these people. I said, wait a minute, you mean to tell me you have not had one person to turn back? Nope. And I'm saying, so we need to do this. We need to be implementing this into our treatment program. But what's going to happen is not certified by the state, not this, not that, or whatever.
And Carol, I'll end with this. When people come through our training, first of all, we don't have a leader. There's no leader in Inward Journey. We don't have a president, a chairman, none of that. It's based on egalitarian principles. But when they come to our training, we train you how to do it. That's why we have chapters in Denver and Chicago and Atlanta, because we train people how to do it to heal themselves. If anybody just tells you what you need to do, they ain't doing nothing. If they're not empowering you on how to do it, so you can now help your children. See, our kids grew up in this. They know about conflict resolution in a way you've never seen. They have these skills because we teach them when they get here. When they come to us, we begin to work with them. So by the time they go through the Underground Railroad Training Odyssey, they already know the foundations of about feelings and thinking. And it's just some things that I couldn't share with you. We don't have time right now. So I guess I hope that addresses your question.
Yeah, what ages do you all work with?
16.
She's talking about the school.
Yeah, both, well,
From 5 years old to 14.
Righteous wasn't accepted, he was younger than that.
Inward Journey, 16 parental permission, unless the parent
It's a man.
is a member, and then it's 14. Sometimes we'll make exceptions depending on what the child is experienced.
Because Amina was what, 13?
She was 13, but her parent
Was a part
was a
of
member.
it.
You know,
Yeah.
Malika.
Malika.
We try to judge by what's going on with the child. And we are not a drug rehab program. We are a program that helps people heal whatever the trauma is they're medicating using drugs, alcohol.
But that's not that exclusively now.
It's not
Understand
that exclusively. It's just,
sometimes we medicate with drugs, gambling, sex. That's one issue.
right.
It could be, we don't care what it is. As a matter of fact, we have processes to help you deconstruct the so-called white construct and what it's done to you. You get what I'm saying? You name it. We don't tell you anything. You got answers already inside. You already know it. We just know what questions that. We don't tell anybody, now you do this. And that's not what, it doesn't work like that.
You can't even imagine in your wildest dreams what this is like. Now just.
I guess it's just.